In this module, we're going to continue with the VisonREZ structure framing tools. We're going to be in the horizontal framing panel, and we're going to start off with frame ceilings. I do have ceilings already in this project, so I'm ready to just start laying in my framing. I'm going to select frame ceilings, and if my member family wasn't already on ceiling framing, I could go look for it. If it was on ITW beam, I would have to go over here and look for ceiling framing lumber. Then I would see the sizes that I need. On this, I do need to start off with the 2x8s. So I'm going to say OK. And then I'm going to tell where I want it to start. I want to start from the beginning. 2 foot on center. And member extension is to be 3.5 inches on either side. So I want it to sit on top of the wall with a good size portion on top of there. I want to remove the beam systems because I do want to allow the movement of the beams where I want to move them without editing a beam system, and I want disallow join so it does not join with a member across from it, so it can move freely. We're going to give this a positive number of a 1/2 inch up above the sheetrock that we're going to apply the framing to. So my settings are correct. I'm going to say OK. I'm going to pick the 2 locations that I know have 2x8s in them and finish that out. I need to move these because they are directly on top of the other ones. So I'm just going to pick those right there. Whoops, got too many. Pick them from here, and then I'm going to move them with the command MV. And I'm just going to move them down 1.5 inches. So 1.5 inches. And now we have a good overlap right there. Next piece we're going to talk about is the lookouts. Lookout is going to add the blocking. It's on our slope framing panel, but it has a twofold use. So what I need to do to crib out these sections here is to copy these over so I have something to add blocking across from. So if I just move these over just by using the copy button and just get them in a general location, I can come back in here and then get them right on top of one another so they'll be similar in size. So when I pick the lookout, I can pick a ceiling framing lumber. These are 2x8s. Again, it picked right up where I needed it to. I want to start at the beginning. I want them at 2 foot on center. Again, same settings. I don't want it to join to anything, and I want it to remove the beam system. There's 2 other options here to be flat or flush to bottom. We want them to be on edge and flush to top. So when we apply these, we pick where we want it to start from and where we want it to go to, and it applies that. And if we stay in the command, we can just come over to the side, pick where we want to start from, where we want to go to. And to finish this out, we would actually delete these outside pieces because we don't need them. These would actually sit on top of the wall, and later we could line them up with the rafters above. So I'm going to finish framing this out, and I'll be right back, and we'll show you how to add framing to another area. So as you can tell, I've framed out the rest of the house, and now I just have the garage to finish. So I'm going to go use the frame ceilings, and then I'm going to pick a 2x10. And it needs to start from the beginning, but because it's such a long span, I'm going to change this to 16 inches on center. I'm going to leave the same settings that I did before and leave the positive 1.5 or 1/2 inch up so it'll lay directly on top of the sheetrock, and then we'll say OK. Pick our area, say finish. So due to the length of these, we need to add a strung back in this location, so I'm going to use the place beam tool, and we're going to do a raised portion where it sits on the very top. We're going to say OK. We're going to pick all the items that we need to carry, say finish, and I do not need to save right now. And then I'm going to pick the strung back that I want, 2x4 on flat, on edge, and then I'm just going to give it a location. And it looks like it's below, but if I hit escape, it actually brings it to the top. And if I need to just move it over, I'm just going to use the nudge keys to move them over just a bit. And this is what we would look like in 3D. We have our members placed in there correctly. We have everything cribbed out correctly on the edges where the rafters would meet. And this is the ceiling framing portion.